Welcome to Tomorrow's World Today, a show dedicated to the discovery of innovation and cutting-edge technology to be featured in the Park of the Future. The park includes 4 worlds. The worlds are inspiration, creation, innovation, and production. Each one will showcase the latest developments from the greatest companies and smartest people in the world. This is Inventionland World Headquarters. Here now is George Davison.
Innovation and technology are so important for the world of tomorrow. Welcome, everyone. Well, here at Inventionland over the years, we sure have had a lot of our ideas and hopes and dreams come true. And today, we're going to unveil 2 of our latest initiatives. The first one is the show that you're watching right now, called Tomorrow's World Today. And we just had to make this show because we're so excited about the future. You're going to be meeting all sorts of really smart and interesting people and companies that are launching the latest innovations. Now, also on this show, you're going to be introduced to one of our secret projects. Our second project is all about creating and designing a park of innovation. And you're going to be sitting on the edge of your seat over the next few seasons as you watch us bring this to life. Now, I can't tell you the name of it yet because that's still confidential. But around here, we call it Project Park of the Future. And it's huge. And we're going to be filling this place with so much technology that we have to bring on somebody else to our team. And I'm going to tell you more about that later. Now, this Park of the Future is so big that we're going to have what's called a weenie. A weenie is something like the Eiffel Tower in Paris or the Freedom Tower, these very tall and large objects, so that you can orient yourself and know where you are at all times. We don't want our guests to ever feel lost, so we're going to be building a weenie in the park. Our weenie is going to be the world's largest treehouse. And at the base of that treehouse will be the roots, which are the connective tissue that hold the 4 worlds of our park together. So the first world we have is the world of inspiration. And in the world of inspiration, your imagination is going to soar. Then the second world we have is the world of creation. And in the world of creation, we're going to go from necessity to creativity. The third world is the world of innovation, where new ideas blast off. The fourth world is the world of production. And in the world of production, that's where big ideas create big growth. Well, what do you say? You want to take a peek inside our planning room? Well, welcome to the park planning room, everyone. What you see before you is a scale model of the Park of the Future. And over here, this is the very front of the park. And for a sense of scale, that's actually a person right there. This is over 1 million square feet under roof. So it's quite a big project. We want this park to be the most sustainable park on the planet. And we're going to be excited to get through all this technological know-how. Technology comes in many different forms. So what we've done is we've dedicated the very front of our park to the world of inspiration. The idea here is that we're going to cleanse you of all that day-to-day stuff that's been going on so you can come here and have a really good time. And as you make your way down through the park and you get inspired, you're going to come right on up to that weenie that we talked about back in the control center. Remember, the world's largest treehouse is going right in there. And then you can make a decision. Do I want to go over here into the world of creation? Or maybe I'm going to wander over here into the world of innovation. I'd like to take in some of those experiences, things I've never seen before. Or maybe I'll come over here into the world of production and take a few rides. There's so much to do in this park, and there's so much technology. Over the next few seasons, we're going to be lifting the roof off of this scale model and showing you all the goodies inside. It's going to be pretty exciting. So, remember earlier when we were up in that control center and I passed by that empty chair and desk? Well, it's filled now. Let's go meet somebody. Everyone, I'm really excited for you to meet Tamara. She's not only a Hollywood actress, but she's also really into STEM and STEAM. And she's a champion for environmental sustainability. But here's a little fact that most people don't know about her. She's also played a role in a Star Trek movie. So that means she's a bona fide science geek. Everybody, meet Tamara.
I wear my geek badge with pride. Thanks so much for bringing me on board this project. You know, I have to admit, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking starting a new job, but I am choosing to trust you. And I'm really looking forward to getting a hands-on look at all the different ways that companies are creating sustainable business practices and then bringing them back here so we can figure out a way to incorporate them into the park of the future. Now, you told me to be ready for anything, so my bags are packed.
So you're ready for your first assignment?
Absolutely. Do I need my passport?
Not this time. We're staying local. I'm gonna send you to a place tomorrow that's inspired me. And since we're working on the world of inspiration, this will be perfect. It's called Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens. That's where you're gonna go tomorrow. Isn't it beautiful? Well, inside are all the experts on sustainability. They've not only tackled building sustainability, but they've tackled landscape sustainability. Right here is one of the buildings in the back. That's actually a living roof. These plants are sitting over top of where everybody's working down below. And then landscape design in the back is very sustainable, but that's what you're gonna wanna focus on. That is the world's most sustainable greenhouse building. To top it all off, they produce their own energy. Tamara, I think you're gonna love this trip, and I'm hoping it's gonna be real inspirational for you.
Well, I mean, it looks gorgeous. I can't wait to see it in person.
Well, it's your first mission, so good luck.
Thanks. Keep an eye out for my report back, okay?
I will.
All right. I'm here at Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Garden. Now, for my first field trip out, George kind of took it easy on me. I didn't have to jump on a plane. I'm right here in downtown Pittsburgh. However, as you can see, there's a little bit of weather going on. But that's okay, because I am about to head inside to a tropical forest. One of the reasons we wanted to come to Phipps is because it's a really great example of sustainable building practices, and it's something we think we can learn from as we plan our park of the future.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, hey, you must be Richard.
Yes, I am. Are you Tamara?
Yeah, George told me that you would be meeting me here.
Great.
Well, I really appreciate you giving me a little bit more of the insider view of Phipps.
Well, it started a long time ago when we started working on our master plan. And for us, it was really looking at how can we link people, plants, health, and planet all together and really into a seamless way of looking at the world. And this was back in the late 1990s when LEED was coming out, and we got very excited about this idea of building a green building because we said, you know, we care about the environment. Why shouldn't our buildings reflect our values?
One of the more ambitious and unusual projects here that you have is you actually have LEED certified greenhouses.
That's right, we do. You know, when we first started the design of those greenhouses, we thought we'd go for LEED certification. And at that time, everyone we talked to said, oh, you can't get a greenhouse LEED certified. And we said, why not? And they said, well, that's just because of the energy. You can never make a greenhouse be energy efficient.
So basically, in order to be LEED certified, you need to really account for
energy, water, materials. Those are all things that are very important in LEED. We decided we're going to try and make them be as efficient as we can anyway. And we did a lot of work in thinking about how can we make them more efficient from a heating point of view. We added things like energy blankets, and we used radiant floor heat. And then for cooling, we adopted an open roof system, which allows the entire roof to open up on the greenhouse. So in the summertime, it can't get hotter inside than outside, so there's no greenhouse effect. And when we worked that into the formula with the LEED process, it turns out we were able to go back after we built the building and get LEED certified at platinum level, which is their highest level of certification under the existing buildings program. And I believe today it's still the only greenhouse ever to get LEED certified, and we got the highest rating. You know, when the original conservatory was built in 1893, People thought there was no limit to the amount of energy we could use or the amount of pollution we could produce. They thought we were going to conquer nature. Here you have a single-pane glass house designed to grow tropical plants in a temperate part of the world. It's insane by today's standards. In 1993, the city realized they could no longer afford to run the conservatory, so they spun it off to the Friends Group, and we've been running it ever since. You know, when we first started, we were really focused on this idea of how are we going to make this place be sustainable from a financial point of view. But as we started to get into the master planning process and the design process, we realized that we really needed to take a look at how do we make it sustainable from connections to nature as well, the natural cycles that take place in nature rather than trying to fight nature all the time. And that's been what's really been driving us ever since that time.
You guys have won a lot of awards, a lot of certifications. Tell me about the Living Building Challenge.
Yeah, so the Living Building Challenge is really a place-based, kind of high bar for sustainability in the built environment. So net zero energy, producing enough energy on site for the building. Net zero water, so treating all of its rainwater, using it in the building and getting it back in the ground and treating its own waste. Also the red list, which is a materials requirement.
And what does that mean, a materials requirement? Is that what you're required to use or not use?
Not use, that's the key. The red lists are chemicals that we don't want in our building products, so we need to confirm that those things are not in the building.
That's not the only certification that you guys have. There's also Sites and the Well Building Challenge.
Yes.
How are those different from the Living Building Challenge and LEED certification?
Sure. Sites really focuses on the landscape, so the natural world and those natural ecosystems that the building's kind of tapping into. And then also the Well Building Standard, which focuses on indoor occupants, so the occupants of like us in the building. And so it's creating a healthy and inspiring place for people to work. We spend roughly 90% of our time indoors, and so that's chronically impacting our bodies. And so it's really cognizant of materials being used in the building, what the air quality is, views to the outside, to really tie into kind of our natural intention to be outside.
So on a day like today, heating and cooling is definitely forefront in my mind. I'm not an HVAC specialist, but there's definitely something different about this building.
Yeah, this building is very well insulated. That's a big starting point. And then our heating system is tied to a geothermal well system. So it preheats and pre-cools the air. So we utilize the natural temperatures of the earth to help heat the building.
One of the reasons we really wanted to come here to FIPS is so that we can be inspired and learn best practices for the park of the future that we're trying to create.
Great.
If you were advising somebody on a new project that they were starting out on and they wanted to attain the level that you have with sustainability, what are the important things to keep in mind?
I think really understanding from other project teams and learning best lessons like you guys are doing, but really understanding the place of where you're building and what the natural world is presenting itself in opportunities, from the sun to the rain to the way that the wind comes onto the land is super important. Understanding the nature that was there before you even started to think about a building.
So really looking to create a synergistic relationship with the natural landscape.
Exactly, yeah, creating that symbiotic relationship.
George, it's not just about the building that they've created. There's so much here to inspire people with all different kinds of skill sets. I think that's going to be really useful for the park and something for us to keep in mind. Well, thank you so much for sharing all the information about how you guys have created this beautiful space. Your technology is really good. We might borrow a couple of your ideas.
Well, that's why we're here.
Excellent. Thanks so much.
Tamara, are you there? Tamara?
George, what a great first assignment. We are definitely inspired by similar things. Sustainability, beautiful design, and a culture of making life better through innovation. And I'm seeing all that here at FIPS.
Well, I can't wait to hear more when you get back over here.
Thanks, George.
Hey, George.
Hey, Tamara. Hey, how's that new office space working out?
Oh my God, I love it. There's so much technology going on, and just look at this space. I mean, I never thought I'd be working in a place that has a robot head, a castle, and a pirate ship. Now, what can I do for you today?
Education is a big play in the world. And in the world of education, we're starting to lead the innovation march in that direction. How about you go out and take a field trip to Haynes School in the Seneca Valley District?
Oh, that's not too far from here, right?
No, it's not. And I think you're gonna have a blast.
Excellent. All right, boss, I'll report back.
Sounds good.
We, along with a lot of other people, are realizing that creative problem solving is an essential life skill. It's the way that we solve problems and the way that we progress technologically. What we've seen in the curriculum is that the kids that have gone through it are growing by leaps and bounds, and they're becoming natural leaders. The goal of this educational process is to prepare our kids for the 21st century. Get them out in the world and let them change it.
I'm so excited to be here today. This is my second discovery report for George. And today I'm looking at innovations in education, or as George likes to call it, edutainment. Entertainment plus education. I'm here at the Creativity, Innovation, and Research Center at Hain Middle School, and I am looking forward to being both entertained and educated. Here at CERC, they've implemented a project-based learning curriculum, which is designed around a real-world product development system. The authors of the curriculum that's used here at CERC noticed that there was an overlap between the work being done in product development and the STEAM learning movement, STEAM being science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. This includes both the processes used in product development as well as the business and technology elements. The philosophy here at CERC could be described as student-led, teacher-facilitated. This means that instead of teachers standing up in front of the class giving students the answers, students are driven by their own interests. Now don't worry, this doesn't mean there's a free-for-all where students get to learn whatever they want. What it does mean is that teachers use students' own interests as the jumping off point into a larger curriculum. Hey, Sean.
Welcome to the CERC.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So tell me a little bit about the motivation to bring this curriculum here.
We were looking for a way to engage our students beyond a traditional sense. We definitely took a leap of faith to find something that was not done anywhere else. And we went to Invention Land and saw a little bit of what was going on in that realm. We thought, what a wonderful idea to bring that here.
Tell me a little bit about how STEAM is integrated through this whole curriculum.
Sure. As kids move through this system, they really start to focus on things beyond just the mathematics and the arts, and they try to really put everything together. And the room itself is broken up into 3 main phases where they get to plan in one area, they get to design in the other, and then they show how to present that information to their peers and to the public. We're preparing kids for jobs that don't exist yet. So to do that in a manner that supports them, we have to give them the ability to create. If you give kids the opportunity, they can inspire us. To see kids take something from the beginning to an end, to feel that fulfillment, to see that sense of accomplishment, makes a tremendous difference.
CERC is the Creativity Innovation Research Center. It's a place where kids can come in to be inspired and spark that imagination that might not be in an everyday classroom. There's a lot of brainstorming. There's probably at least 2 or more classes that we all work together and just shot out all kind of ideas of things to make. We really teach the soft skills of collaborating with one another, communicating with one another, critical thinking skills, and being creative. We're trying to learn that the right tool makes the job easier, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the big deal.
We were happy to have Tamara come in and see CERC firsthand in action.
Well, you had 2 discovery missions, and you spent the whole week getting to know everybody here at Invention Land. How was your first week?
Honestly, I'm loving it. Not the snow part as much. That's a little tough for this Los Angelino. However, now that I understand your vision, I am so excited to hunt down the cutting-edge technology and the right partners for our park.
No, that's great, because it just means you're starting to, gel with everybody around here, and you're starting to really believe in our mission. So that's why I brought you here. Take a look at the model. What do you think?
It looks amazing. I have to admit, my mom's side cannot wait to bring my daughter here, my 7-year-old.
is gonna love this. However, my science geek side kind of wants to come by myself so that I can fully immerse myself in all the worlds that we're building. And I have to say, I think Phipps was a really good place to start, so thanks for sending me there. I mean, aside from the fact that I got to spend a day going through those gorgeous gardens, I was really impressed with the way that they marry technology with functionality and sustainability, and I think we can learn a lot from them. Speaking of sharing knowledge, you almost lost me to Haynes School. I was so impressed by what I saw there. The way that they are using students' interests to lead them through the curriculum in a hands-on way, it was really amazing and inspiring.
Speaking of challenges, I think one of the first missions we're gonna need to focus on, because this place is so big, we need to really look at energy, because we're gonna be consuming a lot in the winter to heat it, and then a lot in the summer to cool it for all of our guests.
So I think we have to look into all the options. I mean, everything from solar to wind, hydroelectric, natural gas. So I gotta put on my science hat and do some research.
How about we start to target solar as our first one? I think we need to really get that one down.
I'll get out there and start doing some research.
Super.
Besides, solar sounds sunny, which is warm, which I would like to go to.
How did I know that that would appeal to you? All right, well, let's make sun our first mission, and we'll see if we can get that figured out.